welcome back.
So today we're going to talk about a missing person, Tracy Day. She was missing from Juneau, Alaska on February 14th, 2019. I actually seen her daughter Kaylin's TikTok. I'm not sure what do you have her TikTok name?
Yeah.
We'll list it down.
Yeah, I have her TikTok, the link to her TikTok, and we'll put it in the description box.
Right.
Because most of this that we have is from her daughter's TikTok, because she has like a 50-part series on her mother's missing case, so.
And I actually seen this TikTok from Kaylin's page that was shared by a friend that I'm following, Trashly Anonymous.
So Tracy is a 43-year-old Native female. She usually has blonde hair, but before she went missing, it was brown with some purple in it. She has blue eyes. She's 5'5" and 135 pounds. Her birthday is October 19th, 1975. And prior to going missing, she was being treated for bipolar and schizophrenia. But she left all her medications behind when she went missing. She also had a history of substance abuse and had been sober for 7 months. And on February 20th, Tracy's father received a phone call from a staff member at St. Vincent de Paul's apartments stating that Tracy had not been seen in a while. And apparently this was some sort of recovery housing.
Oh, okay.
And they had said that she hadn't been around doing her chores. You know, like there's chores that they have to do. And then Tracy's sister had stated that on February 14th, she showed up at their mother's house wearing slip-on shoes and a really thin coat. So her sister gave her some warmer clothes to wear. She says she dropped Tracy off downtown later that night, and when she got out of the car, she walked over to 2 men standing near a street corner. And that was the last time that any of her family had seen her. So then next, all of the stuff that we're going to go into next is kind of highlighting the timeline on her daughter Kaylin's TikTok. So Kaylin shares that on February 14th, Tracy had been at a boat harbor with a man, and her daughter refers to this man as John Doe, because she said in her TikToks that she didn't want to put his name out there. He's in this a lot, so it'd be easier if he had a name. So we'll call him Bob. She was hanging around with Bob at a boat harbor, and this boat was near her mother's house. So she walked to her mother's house, dropped her stuff off, and went back to the boat harbor. Witnesses say that they heard Tracy and Bob fighting. She says that her cousin called Bob and recorded their conversation, and that in this recording he admits to having a physical altercation with Tracy. He says that they were fighting on the boat with boat oars, and that he beat her over the head with an oar. But he also kept changing the timeline of this incident, and then he would say that it took place the year prior of her going missing. He also had stated that it would be normal to find her blood on his boat because she gets her period. He had also bragged to other people that he killed her and got away with it because he was in with the police. And he also sold his boat somewhat shortly after she went missing, apparently. Kaylin says that she spoke with a detective at one point, and he told her that the recording of this man was never entered into their system as evidence. So Tracy was wearing snow pants, blue rubber boots, a black hoodie, and a blue vest when she was last seen.
So this is Kaylin's cousin?
Yeah, that called...
That she recorded the conversation?
A conversation with this guy, yeah.
And it was never entered?
Yeah, they handed it over to police, but then later on a detective said it was never actually entered into as evidence.
Kaylin's cousin doesn't have it?
No.
That's convenient.
Yeah. So Kaylin got a message on Facebook from a woman who said she was at a party on this man's boat. He gave her a blue jacket to wear because she was cold. She wore the jacket home and she washed it, but she realized after she washed it that it probably belonged to Tracy. Kaylin had an officer pick it up from the woman to analyze it, but she never heard anything else from police about the jacket. And then the police department told Kaylin that 2 gas station clerks told them that they had seen Tracy and that she was alive and well. However, when Kaylin spoke with one of the clerks, they said they told the officer that it was not Tracy that they had seen. And when she asked the gas station for surveillance footage, they told her they had already sent it out to the police. Police said they did check airplane and boat records to see if she had left the island, but they didn't find any evidence that she had left. In July, an officer tells Kaylin that he got a tip to check the flight logs again. He says he checks and he tells her that Tracy purchased the ticket. When she questions further, he says that the ticket was purchased in cash and that she didn't have an ID. But when she asked to see footage, he said the airport doesn't keep their footage past 30 days. Police also said there were another set of tickets purchased for December, and those tickets were from Seattle to Honolulu. And the police then said that they had canceled those set of tickets. And so Kaylin looked into these tickets herself, and she was told by the airport that they would have the surveillance footage and that they would just need a subpoena to release it. And they also told her that they don't sell tickets without an ID, and she wouldn't have even been able to board a plane without an ID. And then Tracy...
Sounds like the police station is like just really like making excuses.
Making stuff up, or yeah. Like they got a tip to check the logs again after they'd already checked them and found nothing. It sounds
like
fishy.
They're just trying to appease her, like
right,
trying to give her something so she'll stop asking. Or,
like, oh, your mother just ran away.
It's just, that's what it just seems like. We're not saying that's happening, but
yeah. Well, it seems like that's also what the family thinks as well. You know, that they're just being given the runaround. So Tracy's mother gets a call from a woman who says that she was with Tracy the day she went missing. She says that Tracy got into an argument with a police officer, and the officer beat Tracy with a baton, put her in the back of the car, and drove off. The family tried to convince this woman to come forward with this story, but she was scared and she wouldn't. And then a year after Tracy went missing, Kaylin got a call from police that someone spotted a pile of neatly folded clothes under a bush at the top of a mountain and that it had Tracy's ID in a pocket. They started searching the area, and the police said this area was very hard to climb and also really dangerous. And search dogs were leading to an area that couldn't be walked, so they had to have professional climbers come in and scale the mountain. And the search dogs led to an area that seemed like a grave. It had a cross sticking out and an earring hanging from the cross. And Caitlin was asked to identify the earring, but she couldn't be sure that it was her mom's, so they didn't dig up the area. And then they also refused to tell her exactly where this gravesite was. So, Caitlin...
Which is odd.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just reveal that information?
Well, and also, why wouldn't you...
Like, unless it was on, like, private property or something.
Right.
And didn't want them...
And, like, why wouldn't you dig it up anyways, though? Like, if it could be a grave, like, you can't just bury somebody anywhere. I mean,
you're taking the time out to go search a whole dangerous mountain and you come
right.
to a grave. Like, why not check into it while you're there?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, like, if it's a person, anybody, like, you can't bury a human being just, like, in a random spot.
Right.
Like,
obviously it's not an animal or anything. Like, they're not going to hang an earring on a cross if it's an animal. So
right.
That would, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would think that'd be suspicious enough to check into.
Yeah, you would think so.
Regardless.
And then Kaylin says that recently someone posted a screenshot of a text conversation they had with Bob. And in these messages, he says that he called the police when he was walking on a trail, the same trail where Tracy's clothes were found, and said that it looked like a woman had been attacked, that there were clothes laying around, and it looked like there was a burn pile. However, Kaylin finds this odd because she never actually released that her mother's clothes had been found in that area. And the police department told her they looked into this claim, but that it was somebody else's clothes.
So, it was a different area?
It was
the same pile of clothes.
It was the same area. It was the same area that Tracy's clothes were found, but the police told Kaylin that it was somebody else's clothes that Bob found.
Bob's at it again?
Yeah. Bob says he found...
Bob's, like, really interjecting himself into all these, like...
Yeah. And different family members have stated that Tracy had told them that she thought someone was after her in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. But due to her mental health struggles, they just assumed that she was having an episode. A few people have said that they have spoken with Tracy or had seen her after she disappeared. However, these are not confirmed, and she has not had any contact with any of her actual family members. So yeah, that's pretty much where it stands right now. I mean, this mystery man...
Has he been interviewed by the police at all?
I don't know.
Because
well,
I think it's a little ridiculous that he's the one that's admitting... Well, yeah, because they talked to him about...
Yeah, I think she said that originally they went to his house and just, like, did a quick, hey, have you seen her? No. Okay, cool, bye. Like, I think that was, like, a quick conversation, like, nothing of any significance. So, I don't know. I mean, with Bob saying that he's in with the police, I mean,
And Juneau Police Department acts like he is, because
that's what I was going to say. He seems kind of fishy, and they seem to be giving her
a hard time.
Yeah.
She's looking for her mom. Yeah, her mom has had some struggles, but she's still a missing person.
Yeah, and especially because, like, the gas station clerks, like, the police told Kaylin that these gas station clerks saw her and that she was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then when she goes and talks to them, they're like, no, we never
story.
said that. Yeah.
As well as the airport.
Yeah. So it really seems like they're really trying to
get her to stop looking.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting out of it.
And I mean, that's either because they're just not interested in this case, like they just don't want to keep looking into it, like maybe they just find it unimportant, or something way more sinister.
And I think a lot of police departments, I'm not saying like all, but I think a lot of police departments chuck it up as like, oh, they took off on their own,
right?
Nothing to see here, nothing to investigate, just because of someone's past,
right?
Or, I mean, and it could be like, oh, they went missing before, and just because they went missing that one time, they think, oh, the next time, that was just them doing it again.
Yeah.
When it could be something a whole lot different.
Yeah.
Like, different situation.
I think that that's very possible that that's what's happening in this case. But also this whole guy thing, like, he seems to be very involved and like
he seems sus.
Yeah. And the whole like, oh, her blood would be here because she gets her period. Like
who just like
that's not how a period works. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's not. I mean, you're not gonna just have period blood like splashed all over your walls and stuff. Like that does not happen.
Well, that is all that we have for this case. Kaylin's page on her TikTok page, and go follow her for more information and updates.
Yep, and then follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Send us any kind of suggestions, missing case suggestions, anything that you would like us to look into. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.